2016, the year has started with seeing many changes in the tourism sector for the country in Kenya, with Minister Balala coming back, and of course with the new appointment of the Managing Director of Kenya Tourism Board with yourself. So there's been all of these key announcements as well in terms of products and a new campaign of the travel adventures and the rehabilitation of the coastline as well. So taking all of this into account, we would like you to discuss what are the priorities for the Kenya Tourism Board 2016-2017 plan, and what should we expect from you in terms of new campaigns.
Okay, thank you very much for that question, Carla. What is happening for us in tourism is an exciting moment. We started the year in a positive note first. We got a standalone ministry responsible for tourism, so we see a lot of focus and support from the central government, which is really positive. And the other thing is that we got a new minister who has been there before, very passionate about tourism. And within the first few days, you are able to see him going out to experience and bring to life the product so that he can make it easy for people to appreciate. What we are doing is that we've also had a good package of incentives for tourism trade specifically to be able to incentivize them to sell Kenya. We have a charter incentive program that has been launched worth 1.2 billion Kenya shillings for the next 2 years, launched in January by the president, by the minister, and this is going to support charter operators who fly into Kenya with a waiver of the landing fees and a passenger subsidy of $30 per passenger. The other thing which is very important for us is that a visa fee has been waived for children below 16, so encouraging family travel, because a lot of people, of course, want to travel with their children, and multi-generational travel is the in thing, and it's growing more and more. The other important thing is that a park fee also was reduced as also another incentive to the consumers. From 90, the highest paid park fee is $90 to current $70, and from July this year it's going to be $60. So those are incentives that in the interim are going to really support to bring back the numbers and also to change the perception of Kenya as an expensive destination, and also to entice the travelers to be able to appreciate that we are open for business, and then reassure the trade that Kenya is a reliable destination and they are able to sell and continue to do business with us. Moving forward, of course, we have focused on adventure, which is really key. And you asked about the beach product. Yes, our beach is it's a coastal product. It is beyond the sea. It is beyond the sand. There's so much you can do along the coast, and that is what we are focusing on. What the minister did was really amazing. It went around the world. Everybody, saw it, and it's amazing to be able to showcase to the world how easy it is to do it. So a lot of people are now, they know that you can skydive in Kenya. So we want to continue doing this and have a series of sub-destinations featured and create stories. We want to own the narrative of our story and tell the story from our perspective, how we are enjoying it, how it feels when you're enjoying it, so that others can learn from the experience. By involving the cabinet secretary in that was really a key thing. Moving forward, of course, in terms of growth in the sector, we are looking at continuing to increase the arrivals in this year because there is a lot of positives, and we believe it is an opportune moment for Kenya now to start coming back. From the month of October last year, we started seeing a positive trajectory in terms of arrivals, and as we speak, January and February in terms of arrivals closed at on average 18% increase compared to the same period last year. So looking at that trend already in the first 2 months of the year, we can project that this is going to be a very good year. It's going to be a positive year, and we are going to be able to head towards recovery, which our target is to fully recover by the end of 2018. specific for the UK market, we're going to be launching spring campaigns targeted to consumers. And from this month of March, we have trade sales incentive campaigns with the travel agents, so that we are giving them, incentives for those who sell Kenya more, then they win something, they sell Kenya more, they qualify maybe for a farm trip later in the year, so that we can continue building up the traffic. Because ahead of the visit by the Prime Minister Cameron, we really want to leverage on that and be able to put out the product at a time when the UK market will be glued to TVs to see where the Prime Minister is visiting. And this is going to be an event that will put Kenya high up there as a destination in terms of profiling, because of all these international visibility from various media platforms. So we want to take advantage of that period, be able to continue sending out the message. And so we are going to be doing the consumer promotional campaigns, trade incentive campaigns, and then of course media offensive campaigns. There's too many places to visit in Kenya. First of all, I would want to know, has he visited Kenya before? Because if he hasn't, the true African safari, he has to go to the Masai Mara. Yeah, for the first experience. If it's a guest that has been on a safari, I would take him to see more adventurous and more luxury places like Mount Kenya area that has a history, a big connection with the UK. The current the Queen became Queen while visiting in Kenya in 1952. She came as a princess, she went back home as a queen. So there's a lot of history, and the Prince William and Kate got engaged in Mount Kenya area. So I'm sure he will find good connection and historical linkages with that area. But of course, Kenya is diverse. There's so much, and I wish he could have more time to just traverse and visit local people and see how we live and be able to engage and have a feel of the true Kenyan spirit. In the rural areas, how people live, how they embrace nature, how we handle conservation, because we are very big in conservation as a country, and we want world leaders to see the efforts that we make, and also involving our communities in this, because they have lived with this wildlife before we were born, and they continue to do so. So this is one thing that I would really like him to see.